Installing a processor and heatsink.
Align the processor on the new carrier so that the triangular marks align, and then insert the marked end of the processor into the carrier. Hold the inserted end of the processor in place and then push the unmarked end of the carrier down and away from the processor. Press the processor and secure the sides under the clips on the carrier. If you are reusing a heatsink, use a syringe to apply 4 uniformly spaced dots of thermal grease on top of the processor. Each dot should contain about 0.1 milliliters of thermal grease. Align the triangular mark on the heatsink label with the mark on the processor.
Lower the heatsink support bracket onto the system board. Fasten the 2 screws to secure the heatsink support bracket. For the 2 processor configuration, install a 1U standard heatsink on processor socket 1 and 1U performance heatsink on processor socket 2. Align the triangular mark and 4 Torx T30 nuts on the PHM with the triangular mark and threaded posts of the processor socket, and then insert the PHM into the processor socket. Push the anti-tilt wire bales outward until they engage with the hooks in the socket. Fully fasten the Torx T30 nuts in the installation sequence shown on the heatsink label. Visually inspect to make sure that there is no gap between the screw shoulder beneath the heatsink and the processor socket. Make sure that all the required cables are routed and connected correctly, and then reinstall the top cover. Reinstall the node into the chassis.